This is Irontrader, and this is the last call of the day. So we're going to take a look here at Bitcoin, at crude oil, and natural gas. We'll take a look here at the indexes, and then we'll take a look here at gold and silver. Okay, at the end of the video, the support and resistance levels are posted for crude and natural gas. This video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy, sell, any stock, commodity, ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. All right, here we have Bitcoin, your daily and your weekly chart. Now, before we get started here, the Fed made its decision, just like I told you. They're going to leave rates unchanged. I knew they weren't going to change anything. They're going to wait and see how these tariffs and everything's all going to shake out. The economy is nowhere near as bad as what they're trying to convince you. There's nothing wrong with this economy, okay? Inflation is coming down, not as much as it should, I think, but over time, got to be a little bit patient. But if he makes a deal on these tariffs, okay, they're going to start over the weekend here with China in Switzerland. You can have a rip your face off rally here. So just remember that, okay? All right, so let's take a look here at Bitcoin. Okay, we had this nice sideways action, and today we had this nice green candle. Okay, so let's look at the upside. So obviously we're looking at today's high. You're looking at that 98,200, but really what we're looking at here is just look at that price channel. You're looking at, let me see if focus it in there, 98,615. That's going to be key. We need to close right over that, okay? So now you can see here how we rallied up, little sideways action, rallied up, sideways action, rallied up, sideways action. So I'm thinking the same thing again. So your next target, if we can break above that key 96,615, is we're just going to take this price channel, come right across here, and that's going to be your target, your upside resistance level target, 99,765. Then we just come right over the top of that candle, and we're looking at that at 100,765, and then we just bring this bad boy right across, and we're looking at here at 102,875. Now, if she keeps ripping up here, we're going to just follow these candles up here. You got 104,920. We have 106,570. We come up here. We got 106,945. And then on top of that candle, 107.45. And then this is going to be the big target here, is going to be that 108.960. Now, this is going to be their breakout level, but this is going to be your target. Simple reason is, as it rallied up here, but you notice how it could not close above this candle here, okay? When it ran up, it just hit and then popped right on down, okay? Now, this is your breakout. You break out above that, you're looking at 115 to 120, but just be a little bit patient here. That's the key, is patience on this. Now, downside here, you can see here, we're holding it very nicely. 95,952, that's your 8-day. Very, very critical. If not, we'll come to today's low. You're looking at a 95.70 level. We'll come out to the bottom of this candle. You're looking at 93.945, and then we'll come to the bottom of yesterday's at 93.685. And then we're looking at the big boy here, this 100-day at 92.988 level. Okay, so we have this nice sideways action going on here, okay? We lose that 100-day, your big target's going to be this 21-day, okay? But you can see how the 21-day is moving up very, very nicely here. The price is back above the 8-day, looking very, very good. Now, RSI here, we're sitting at 62. That's not overbought. So that has plenty of room to run. Your green is still over your red, but we just have this sideways traction action here. I say off of this really nice inverse head and shoulders pattern. There's your left shoulder. There's your head with the double bottom. There's your right shoulder. And look at the nice action that we have going off of that. Okay. Now, weekly chart here. Look how nice this is. Okay. She's a beaut, Clark. Look at that. Okay. You're looking at 93,176. We're holding this nicely. This is what we have to hold by tomorrow. That's going to be key, okay? Sitting at 60, there's plenty of room to run. Your green is trying to get over your red here. Just be a little bit patient with this. But once we start cracking above this 98,615, then we're going to probably go to the next level. Now, I'm not saying you're going to run right up to there. We could be doing just like we did here. Up here, then a little sideways action. Up here, a little sideways action. Up there, a little sideways action. We could keep doing the same thing all the way and up here. But again, when this inverse head and shoulders plays out, you're looking at about 106. Okay, let's take a look here now at crude oil and natural gas. Okay, here we have crude oil and natural gas. Now, crude oil had a nice draw there today on the EIA report. Nice draw there on the API report yesterday. So actually, it's looking here not too bad. However, you know what? We have to trade the charts. Okay, so we got right up high. You know, probably put a lot of people into the trade and say, oh, it's going to go higher. But you have to close above this 8-day, okay? Until it does, this is just a trade, okay? So this is what we're watching on the upside, is that 59 flat. And then we're going to go look here at that 60.88. That's your 21-day. Now, you can see the 21 days coming down. It's trying to level off here. Hasn't done it yet, but that's going to be the key then if you can get above that 8-day. Then we just follow the candles very nicely. You got 62.07. We got 63.31. We have 63.92. We'll come up to the top of this candle at 64.87. And then we're going to be looking right there for that 50-day. That's going to be crucial at 64.92. Now, seasonality is in play. You got a big brouhaha between India and Pakistan there. That could affect crude oil also. Okay, so we got to all take that in consideration. And you have the summertime driving coming on right now. I can't speak for anybody else wherever they live, but the traffic over YM is just enormous. We're kind of like a resort town up here. And I tell you, the traffic, people are coming and going. I mean, you got to really pick your times where you want to go, okay? So take that all in consideration. Another thing you want to take in consideration, when crude oil is down in the 50s here, there's going to be a lot of countries like China be buying that oil up, okay, and putting it in their SPRs, okay? So just remember, a lot of people are buying at these low levels. They're not going to be buying at $70, $80, $100 a barrel. They're buying at these low levels here, okay? Now, downside, we want to watch today's low here. You're looking at 57.81. We'll come to yesterday's low. You're looking at 57.03. We'll come to the bottom of this candle right here. You're looking at 56.39. And then we have this 55.30. And then your big retest, 55.12. This king comes all the way down. You crack below that. You're going 53, 50, 47. And you can get as low as 43 on this bad boy. Okay. So, but again, this time of the year, we got to see how that all shakes out here. So just trade this. That's the key. That's what I do. Trade it long and short. UCO for the long. Works out really good. SCO for the short works out really good. Okay, now the gas here. Look at how nice this is. Okay, so we're holding this key 8 SMA, the 8-day across the 21-day, and she's rolling up here. So I always say you close above that 8-day. As long as it holds that 8-day, you're going to get sideways to up action. You go below this 8-day, it's sideways to down action. Just that simple. Now, what we're watching here is watching yesterday's high, 3.64. But this is the one your really target is going to be this 100-day at 3.71. And that 50-day, right above it, that's at 3.76 level here. Okay, so that's what we're looking for there on the upside. Okay, so now you can't have this pop and drop, look at it here, and then get everybody in a trade, and then she sells off. No, you got to close above it. Okay, that's the key. Then we continue. We can rally all up here. You got 2.83. 3.9, 3.83, 3.93 here. And then we just follow the candles all the way up here. You got 3.48. This is what you're looking for, that 4.20. And then here's the big retest at that double top at 4.25 level. Okay. So again, as long as we're holding an 8-day, we're very, very good. If we lose this 8-day, then boom, here she comes right here. You're looking at that 3.34 level. There's your 21-day, and then you can work yourself all the way down to the 200-day at 3.12. But I say right now, we're still looking good. So this has got a sideways action. As long as we're holding 8-day, we're looking really good. Okay, RSI here, plenty of room to run. Green over red, looking very, very good here. So I don't know. This is a good trade here. UNG for the long, KLD for the short. Not too bad. Okay, let's take a look here now at the old indexes. Okay, here we have the Dow, the S&P, and the old NASDAQ. Okay, so you can see that all these charts are pretty much similar. Okay. So we'll start off here with the old Dow. Okay, now the Dow's got a pretty good run there today. It's up 145 right now, but we have it here what they call is an indecision candle. Now, you see what we had here? Okay, this went right up into the 50-day, couldn't do it. This is an indecision candle. Yesterday's into it, couldn't do it. And look at today, can do it. Okay, so this 50-day is everything. Okay, so this is what you're watching on the Dow, is at 41,138. If we can get above that, we can go to the top of this candle right here, which is that price channel at 41,445. And then we come right to the bottom here because this is the gap fill, okay, at 41,629. We get above that, we're going to go right to that 42,226. That's going to be your big target, is going to be your 200-day SMA. Now, downside, well, this 8-day is everything. As long as we're holding it, we're good. Okay, 40,810. Now, again, if that is lost here, then what we can do is we can just come right down to the top of this candle here. You're looking at 47.77. We'll come up here. You're looking at 46.30. We'll come to the top of this candle here. You're looking at 44.14. And then your big target is going to be 40.68. That's your 21 simple moving average. But right now, we're trading between the 8-day and that 50-day. So eventually, as that 50-day comes down, the 8-day goes up, something's going to give. She's going to slam up or she's going to slam down, okay? Now, just remember, when you have the Fed day, okay, there's one thing that you have to know, is if you have a down day on Fed day, usually the next day you got a rally. If we have a rally on Fed day, usually the next day it's a down day, okay? So always remember that. Now, S&P here. Well, This here is pretty much the same kind of chart, okay? So what we're doing is we're watching this 8-day on the downside. That's at 56.01. But you can see how nicely it held all the way here, okay? So now, if that's lost, we want to come right to that 50-day at that 55.60. That's going to be your key level here that you're going to be looking for on the downside, all right? Now, if that is lost here, then we just follow these candles all the way down here, okay? So what's your next level? 55.53. We'll come up here, okay? We're looking at 55.28 level. We'll come to the top of this candle here at 54.89. And then your big target is 54.31. That is your 21 SMA here, okay? But now you can see how the 21-day coming up, rolling up. The 21-day rolling up, okay? So now, on the upside here, we want to watch today's high, 56.37. Yesterday's high, you're looking at 56.49, and we'll come up the top of this candle here. You're looking at 56.83, and then we have at top of there, you're looking at 5,700 flat. We get above that, we're looking for that 200-day right there on that 57.47, just like we're looking here on the old Dow. Now, NASDAQ, okay, look at the NASDAQ, okay? Now, NASDAQ right now, she's selling off. She's down about 110, okay? But yesterday, man, that thing just flew up over 200 points, like in, I don't know, about 20 seconds, okay? So always remember that. Now, what we got here is we're now below that 8 SMA here, see? So now that's going to be, you have to get back above that 17,663. If you can, we just look through today's high. You're looking at 17,793, and then we come up top of there. You're looking at 17,830. We'll come top of this candle. You're looking at 17,965, and then your big retest there is going to be your 1848, and then your big target, if you can get above, is 18,341. That is going to be your 200 SMA here. Okay, now downside, if we lose that 8 simple moving average, then we're looking for this 50-day, okay? So you're looking right at that 50-day at 17,396. And then we'll come down here to the bottom of this candle right there. You're looking at 17,500 level. Then we'll come out here. You're looking at 17,467. And then we'll be looking for this 21-day at 16,964, okay? But you can see here all these charts are the same. But let's just see how this all shakes out here. We could just have a sideways action like we have going on here. So just be a little bit patient. Okay, let's take a look here now at gold and silver. Okay, here we have gold and silver. Now you would think it would be just the opposite. You think that gold and silver would be rallying when the market is pulling back. But right now, she is not doing that. Okay, so what we're looking here on the downside, obviously here on gold, is you want to watch today's low. That's 33.67, okay? And then we have this 8-day. That's going to be very, very key, 33.31. And then we're going to have that 21-day sitting at that 32.95 level. That's going to be your key support levels right there. Now, if that's lost here, we just follow the candles down. Okay, you got 32.43. We'll come here to the bottom. You got 32.29. Right here, we have 32.09. And then we can just keep right here to the left here is going to be also very, very key. You're looking at 31.96 level, and then obviously we can come all the way down to your 31.28. But right now we're holding above that 8-day. We're holding above the 21-day, okay? But again, we had this topping tail here. Then we had a sideways action here. So we got to see if we can retest that level or not, okay? So on the upside here, we're going to be watching yesterday's high, 34.44, and then we'll watch today's high, 34.48, and then your big retest at 35.09. Now, again, if you crack that, you're probably looking for that 35.50 level and work yourself all the way up to 36. But right now, that's just not what they call happening, okay? So now we have the RSI here. It's only at 60, so that could go either kind of a direction here. But we had this negative divergence. So see where we have this high here. We had a high. We had an even higher high, but we had a lower high. See that negative divergence? Okay, so now we got to see how this is all going to shake out. But see that negative divergence? That's never, you don't want to see that if you're bullish, okay? Now, easier way to trade this on the long side is SLD for the silver, GLD for the gold. Works out very, very nicely. Now, here, silver. Now, silver just didn't have nowhere near the juice like gold had, okay? So we had this nice big red candle. So what we're watching here is today's high. Well, first of all, we have to get above all this here, okay? So let's just look at that first, okay? So what we're looking at here, we're looking at this 8 SMA here. You're looking at that 32.88. Then we can go here to today's high, 33.48, and then 33.83. That is going to be your big target, which is basically just this candle, okay? Now, if we can get above that, then we want to look right to the left. Okay, you're looking at 34.24, a level. Then we'll come right to the top of this candle here. You're looking at 34.68. We'll come up top of here at 34.32, and then your big retest at 35.49. Now, if you can get above that, you probably work, and it'd be slowly all the way up to your 40 level, but probably more like 37, 38, because this is a turtle, you know what I'm saying, compared to what gold did. Okay, now on the downside here, we want to hold this 21-day, 32.48, and then we want to have that 100-day is right below that at that 32.21, and then we can come all the way down here to your 200-day at 31.44 level. Now, I have no position in either one of these as of right now. I traded the gold, but when I see this topping tail candle here, that tells me I got to get the hell out of the trade. Okay, but we had a really nice rally up here, sideways action, just kept right on rallying here. But when you notice when it sold down, it held that 50-day very nice, and then spiked right on high. But it just might be done for right now, so we got to see how that's it. Unless you close above 35.09, then she's going to go higher. Same way with this, you close above that 35.49, then you're going to go. Then you're going to go higher. But if not, I think you got sideways to down kind of an action. Okay, that's what I got for you. I'll be back here tomorrow morning, and we'll do it all over again. Thanks for watching.